Alright, so I just want to use the following example as a means to demonstrate my point. Alright, here it goes. First off, I'm Lugh Poetek. This is day 33, that's 33, of my 90-day Fast to 5K. And I was just reading. And I was reading a section of this book, you know? So I was just reading, and I came across this section of a book that was talking about groupthink and brainstorming, and it was saying some pretty remarkable things that I outrightly not hearing the opposite before, if you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so here goes. So a few years ago, when I was taking classes, a social psychology class to be exact, when we learned about groupthink, and groupthink is, paraphrasing, groupthink is pretty much where you have so much cohesion in the group that the people who disagree with where the group is going are afraid to speak up because they don't want to be, polarized from the rest of the group. And in the social psychology class that I was taking, there's a couple things that I said. First thing it said was the reason why this happens is because people are too similar and they're afraid to be polarized from the group if they speak up or say something that differs with the opinion of the group. And at the same time, we had just discussed brainstorming, and it said similarly that brainstorming, when you're in a group and you're brainstorming, that you should not provide any criticism whatsoever, because if you do, the thought behind it was that criticism is going to cause that person who came up with what they thought was a novel idea to shut down. Therefore, when you're in a brainstorming session, you just spit out all the ideas that you can, and you don't criticize none of them, at least until after it's done. Right now, I was reading this book that came out not too long ago, definitely after I took my classes. Again, I'm saying this is an example for the bigger picture that I'm trying to relay to you, but I thought it was interesting. Alright, so in the book, it pretty much said that theory on cohesion is incorrect. And I found that interesting. And then it went further to say that when you are brainstorming in a group, that the thought is that you don't criticize anybody, because if you do, they'll shut down, and that was incorrect too. And that studies show, new studies done in the 90s, the groupthink and cohesion theory was done after the documents for the Bay of Pigs failure was declassified. Don't know the exact year, but that's where the psychologist, can't remember his name off top, came up with a theory of cohesion, and that when you have too many people in a group that think the same way, nobody else is going to speak up. Side point. Alright, back to what I was saying. So the research at this book, which definitely came out after the social psychology classes that I was taking, and in this book it said that those two ideas are false, and when you're in a group, it's not cohesion or the fear of being polarized that stops that group from succeeding and going further, nor is it when you're brainstorming in a group advisable to not criticize somebody. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, so the reason why I wanted to present this example to you, I thought that was interesting, and I always am trying to share interesting things that come to my mind on these daily videos that I'm taking, because again, this is my journey and my path to $5,000 in 90 days. The reason why that this stuck out to me and I wanted to share it with you is because it shows the importance, because until now I was under that impression, and whenever I was in a group of people and we were trying to brainstorm new ideas, I always gave the advice to don't criticize anything, everybody just write their ideas down, let's share them, don't think, don't worry about none, just let's share them. And I was under that impression ever since I left that class. But more recent studies, I mean it's from the 90s, but more recent studies from the Bay of Pigs invasion, which was done sometime before the 90s, shows that that is actually not true, and the opposite is true. That when it comes to brainstorming, groups that were actually criticize each other led to more novel ideas. I think the number was like 16% more novel ideas than the ones who just kept their mouths shut. And it makes sense simply because as long as everybody is on the same page and knows that everybody else, like each other, are looking out for one another, that they don't take that criticism to heart. But being under this impression for the past couple years since I left this class and given that advice whenever I was doing brainstorming sessions or talking about groupthink or anything like that, and it turns out that new knowledge and new studies show that I was wrong, and that in fact, me doing that, I was actually decreasing productivity and creativity. And this was the whole point of this video. I know they're getting longer, and I'm sorry, but I don't know, it just happens. Regardless, the point of this video was to say that whatever knowledge you may think that you have, whatever knowledge you may believe that you have, or you may have learned a few years ago, whatever, can be obsolete just like that. And what you need to do to continue to be progressive and to continue to reach your own excellency, we talk about that on the website, LughPoetek.com, the link is in the bio. But in order to do that, you have to continuously read and grow yourself on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And it doesn't just mean self-help and growth, it means actually educating yourself with the newest materials, with the newest ideas, following science journals and just stuff like that. Whatever field you're interested in, whatever you're interested in, you gotta stay up to date, because our knowledge that we think that we have becomes so obsolete in a flash. And that was the whole point that I wanted to make with this video, that in order to grow and develop, you have to continuously learn every single day. You have to continuously learn every single day, and you cannot for once be stuck or believe that what you think is always true. You have to always be open. And the demonstration I made in this video was just some bonus information I thought was good, and it helped demonstrate the point that my knowledge that I swore I believed, and I'd argue it with you till my heart died, that I was correct, because this like that was incorrect the whole time. So I just want to make this video to inform you and to share with you that it is important that we continuously learn and grow every single day. And I know it's a cliche, and I'm really against cliches, but I hope with this demonstration it kind of made it more understandable, and I met you more on your level than what the moguls and talk about. So that's the whole point of me doing these videos, not to be cliche or to share cliche now, so I try to stay away from that as much as possible, but to inspire ideas and execution and thoughts inside you and inside myself, so we both can grow together and reach our own excellency. Again, thank you for tuning in. I'm Lugh Poetek. This is my 90-day Faster 5K. This is day 33. And for more information on reaching your own excellency, or if you like what you heard, or you want to debate this, please like, comment, subscribe, and definitely check out the blog site and check out the About section. Again, it's in the bio. Thank you for your time. I wish you the best. God bless.